Empire crumbles under power. Thunder rolls in a witching hour. Lightning from fingertips like skies. Screaming echo sorcerer's eyes. Darkness grips every corner. Whispers call, nothing can warn her. Crazy wild magic fire. Evil grows ever higher. Fractured minds, empire slave. Begging for light in God's grave. Bones crack under her spell sway. Veins pulse, powers dismay. Thunder crashes like her laughter. Evil loves heavily ever after. Voice scream beneath her feet. Desperation in her heart's beat. Tempers bruised, lightning surging in. Empire lost, darkness emerging. Crazy wild magic fire. Evil grows ever higher. Fractured minds, empire slave. Begging for light in God's grave. Crazy wild magic fire. Evil grows ever higher. Fractured minds, empire slave. Begging for light in blood's grave. Shadows creeping void. Stars blink cold and void. Terran flag unfurled. Galaxies we rove. Engines burn through black. Fleet in perfect track. Empires will fall when we stand tall. Terran right will rise. Dominion never dies. In darkness we thrive. Supremacy alive. Alien worlds quake as our war drums break. Unity in fear. We are here. Cold steel and machine. Victory unseen. Faith in iron might. Darkness takes the night. Light will rise. Dominion never dies. In darkness we thrive. Supremacy alive. Alien worlds quake as our war drums break. Unity in fear. We are here. Cold steel and machine. Victory unseen. Faith in iron might. Darkness takes the night. Light will rise. Dominion never dies. In darkness we thrive. Supremacy alive. 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 life. On Twitch we sail, come join the dive with games and chat and tales untold. In Ruby's realm, let the fun unfold. Oh, Ruby streams with laughter bright. By the glowing screen we set our sight. From fantasy realms to FPS fight, every stream is pure delight. Evil Ruby, Manhattan's alive. On Twitch we sail, come join the dive with games and chat and tales untold. In Ruby's realm, let the fun unfold. On the ocean wide, in the game raft, we build and float through the stormy draft, gathering scraps, crafting our craft. In Ruby's stream we share a laugh. Hey ho, Ruby, Manhattan's alive. On Twitch we sail, come join the dive with games and chat and tales untold. In Ruby's realm, let the fun unfold. With a hat so mad and a heart so grand, Ruby guides us through this digital land. In the chat we cheer and make a stand for the finest streams in all the land. Hey ho, Ruby, Manhattan's alive. On Twitch we sail, come join the dive with games and chat and tales untold. In Ruby's realm, let the fun unfold. So hoist the sails and spread the word. Rubies live, haven't you heard? Join the crew, be undeterred. In the Mad Hatter's world, we all get stirred. Ruby, Manhattan's alive. On Twitch we sail, come join the dive with games and chat and tales untold. In Ruby's realm, let the fun unfold. So hoist the sails and spread the word. Rubies live, haven't you heard? Join the crew, be undeterred. In the Mad Hatter's world, we all get stirred. Heave-ho, Ruby, Manhattan's alive. On Twitch we sail, come join the dive with games and chat and tales untold. In Ruby's realm, let the fun unfold. a tavern down the cobbled road, where the lanterns gleam with a warm, soft glow. The ruby Mad Hatter, with a twinkle in his eye, greets every soul with a heartfelt cry. Welcome to the tavern, pull up a chair, grab a mug of ale. Don't fireball, Mike!
Alright. Oh, you're facing the opposite direction. That's okay. I'm talking to the back of the shell.
Talk to the shell.
Talk to the shell. God, what were all those shell puns from, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I remember there was, like, a bunch.
Yeah. Bunch is the way I would describe it.
Oh my god. Alright, welcome everyone to Tabletop Tuesday, where we talk about random subjects. Whether you want to ask questions, we can answer them. We have a wheel of topics that we can pull out and spin the little bugger, see what we get. Let's see what else. Oh, and, we also try to educate you on whatever topic we're going to be discussing on education. Just a quick thing on educational notes, just because we were discussing this earlier. IPv4 is not an encryption protocol. It is a method of communication.
Yes.
Okay? If someone's telling you they broke IPv4 and were able to change data due to, for example, the context I'm referring to is the election. Someone said that the election machines were hacked because they used IPv4 and they were talking about it as if it was an encryption.
Yeah.
When in reality, it's a communication method. It's like, I think a good example is IPv4 is like your car, IPv6 is like your truck. They both drive on the roads, they both do the same relative thing, just one does something slightly different than the other.
Yeah, I mean, the big advantage of IPv6 is that your IP address has a bigger space, because IPv4 had essentially 256 values for each of 4 slots, and that limited the total number of machines that could be directly connected to the internet. So IPv6 expands the range of numbers that you can use to address machines.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. That's all it does. You can't, if you hack IPv4 or IPv6, congratulations, you just found the right port, essentially. That's fucking it.
There's all, we don't want to get down in the weeds on how, the network stack goes, but, IP is about addressing. That's it,
It's basically something like the equivalent of someone finding your home address. Congrats.
Right.
Woo! Alright, it's still bad in terms of, cybersecurity reasons if someone finds out your IPv4 or IPv6 address, but that's only because at that point then they know where you are.
Roughly speaking, yes.
Yeah.
You could also be behind a VPN, for instance.
Which helps in that front.
Sometimes tracing an IP can go as far as, well, we know they're in this region with this service provider, but we can't get a street address.
Yeah. The only exceptions to those rules is if your IP address is relegated to a large organization, in which case you might get the organization's name.
Yeah.
And which is congrats. Okay. But anyway, other fun announcements. We still got our sponsors, Shopify Gaming Servers and W Energy Drinks. They're down below. So use the code RubyMadHatter, get 10% off your purchase, because that will help. Tassie Gamer, hey bud, hope you're working, playing COD with some friends, want to share some with... Alright, Tassie.
It's all coming together.
Thank you for using your check-ins.
Every syndicate in the city wants your head on a stick.
I hope you're doing fine there, my Aussie friend.
Observation. This is a great opportunity for slaughter.
So there is that. Second announcement, of course, is we're still doing Solaris Eterna Season 3, so if you want to get involved in the voice acting or in making factions for us to run into, traveler, by all means, let me know. We'll work something out, alright? Just send me a message at this point. What else is there? Oh, yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe, and comment down below to appease the algorithm gods. I don't know why I haven't followed yet. My bad. Hey, you followed now. I appreciate that. All right. Welcome to the tavern, by the way, Tassie. Grab yourself a mug of ale, pull up a chair, have fun, and don't fireball my goddamn tavern. Because I know at least what continent you're in, and while you may be living on veteran difficulty, that doesn't stop me from basically Rod of Godding your location. Because we artificers can do that shit. Except it won't be a rod, it'll be 64 cows. Did you ever, do you remember that one, Gamera?
64 cows. You talking about like the old D&D spell, drop a bunch on their head?
Conjure animals, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you conjure, you fly up in the air, you conjure you use a level 9 spell, you conjure 64 cows and drop them on one target.
Yeah.
And for every 10 feet up the cow is, it does 1d6 damage.
Yep.
And so right there, that's alone if you were just 20 feet up, because you gotta ignore the first 10 feet. If you were 20 feet up, you are now doing 64 d6 damage, which is more than Meteor Swarm at that point.
Yeah.
And then, God help you if you decide to go like 100 feet in the air. It's like, I'm dropping cow nuke.
Yeah. Yeah. As a GM, I would probably, give the target a reflex save, since that's an awful long way for a bunch of cows to fall without giving them a chance to get out of the way.
Yeah, that's true. Which, depending on the situation, you could go for a reflex save for no damage, reflex save for half damage, or, just depending on the situation, yeah, you're gonna bite it. I had one game, you'll get a laugh out of this. I had one game where my players each got a folding boat. Like 2 of them in particular. And this was the first time I ran Traviel. Alright?
Okay.
I didn't know how to say no to number of players.
Uh-huh.
And I walked away with 21 players.
Yep, that's a problem.
That's a problem. So what I ended up doing was I got 3 sub-DMs.
Uh-huh.
And each DM had their own table, and I bounced between all 3, keeping the game cohesive. That's kind of like an overarching storyline. Our evil and good party decided that it was time to fight. And the good aligned characters, the fighter in the group, dropped a folding boat onto the evil party leader's head, essentially. Daryl, hey Ruby, how are you doing today? I'm doing fine. I hope you're doing great, friend. He was a monk, and when they both came up with the idea of dropping boats on people, I made this statement. I was like, okay,
this is a great opportunity for slaughter.
Give a reflex save for half damage. I felt like that was fair, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And they both agreed to it. Monk has evasion.
Yep.
So the monk took no damage. The fighter wasn't so lucky.
Yeah.
And what made the monk's situation even worse is he filled his folding boat with alchemist fire.
Uh-huh.
So the fighter not only got squished, he got burned to death.
Yikes.
So fun times there. So yes, you can drop boats on people for fun and profit. Lurking for your stream, keeping awesome. Okay, thank you. Let me get to the game. Other fun things I want to point out. Oh, wow. Okay, I need to fix some things. Where is the chat? I know it's around here somewhere. Please, I know where it's gold. That's Switch alert. Where is the chat? Is it in? Oh, I accidentally put it in there. Alright, let's put it... There we go. Now I'm above chat. The chat was covering me.
There you go.
Alright, let me turn myself around, because I am facing the wrong direction. There we go. Alright. So what's with the pattern of beds? Oh, you mean this little room here? Why isn't... This is the medical room. I kept everything separate enough so that way when I start getting medical research done, where I can get, like, IVs and, like, medical monitors and stuff, I can put them next to the bed and have each bed have that effect. So, there is that.
Neat.
Oh yeah, it's definitely fun. Okay, so we got basic management software, so now they're working on dirt road building. So now that my groups will be able to start building roads between each other's colonies, so that way, 1, taxes will get here faster, and 2, I can send people there. You, sir, are an asshole.
The sound alerts seem to be a little more responsive. Looks like they've changed the widget a little bit.
Yeah, I noticed. God damn it. Yeah. Why is it I always have public execution? Like, that is not okay in my religion. Why is that a thing? Is it in here? Let me see. Okay, respected if guilty.
Blood for the blood god!
Inquisition's here. Oh, Wisen's resting in a bed because he got injured. What? Oh, he got healed immediately. Jesus. Okay, that was quick. So we got plenty of people cooking, doing things. The big problem I've had with this colony is plants. I have plenty of meat. I don't have enough plant matter.
Mm-hmm.
So, ergo, my people can't make really good meals until we get some more plant matter. Uh-oh.
I mean, you've got fields growing stuff, but is it mostly for like textile purposes?
I mean, I have corn. I have heel roots. I have hops. There's agave. That is hay grass for the animals. This is wood. That's rice down there. So I have 2 rice fields right here. And they're the closest to the base.
Uh-huh.
The problem is, it's just, I have not ideal temperature because it's over 100 degrees all the time.
Yeah.
So nothing wants to grow, like, with a decent amount of speed.
Gotcha.
Okay. AP wants to death rest. I need... Okay, do me a favor. Finish building that. So that way I can get her death rest coffin going. Alright, there we go. Alright, that'll connect. You can now start your death rest. Alright, so later on I can make improvements. Alright. So the question is biotech, hemogen amplifier. Move faster, psychic sensitivity, or death rest accelerator. I feel like that would be what I want the most. Alright. Oh, Twitch drop. Fertile lands. Oh, it's a druid spell. Okay, cool. Thank you. That's appreciated. Oh yeah, audience who is watching, if you want to like drop things in to help or hinder, use Rim Connect and you get points just by watching, essentially.
Yeah.
So you can use those points to help. Yeah, okay, so I have an idea, and so here's my thought. Okay, so it goes all the way to there. Alright, so I want starting here, going to there maybe? Let me see. About here. Okay, there's the line. I'm trying to find... It's so hard to see these damn lines. Let's see what we got. Flour! Yay! We got flour! I don't know
Yeah,
where to...
just throwing in something to demonstrate the ability to throw in something.
Yep. You get more points if you chat. This is true. The more you chat, the more points you get. That is very true. Alright, do I have anybody that's a melee type? I don't think so. Because my people don't... Oh, no, wait. We have the child. The child has a battle axe. Suddenly I feel like was it Death from... Was it, when Death had to be Santa Claus?
Oh, Hogfather,
Hogfather.
the Discworld novel.
Discworld, that's what I was like, I know it's there. It's like Discworld or some... Like, I know it was something world, and I was like, fuck, what is it? Alright, so... That's where it collides. So I want to build a wall eventually around this. And build it across the water eventually. And cover a little bit over here. Possibly all the way to here. Novel and film. Yep. But I remember, like, it's like the guy goes, "You just handed a child a sword." It's like, yes. It's like, but that's dangerous. Like, it's a sword. Of course it's dangerous. But what if she gets hurt? Then she'll learn a valuable lesson. I know I'm probably misquoting it slightly, but it's still funny.
Yeah.
Look, that's a valuable lesson. Alright. While that's going, and there's nothing happening, let's spin the wheel. Oh, it's not making noise. Why aren't you making noise? Oh, because I silenced you. That's why. Alright, fix again. Yay! Alright, Star Wars. Alright, looks like we're talking about Star Wars today.
Well, we've got some upcoming Star Wars stuff that could be of interest.
I'm kind of interested in that new show. I know it's designed for kids, but still, it's...
Yeah, Skeleton Crew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it's good.
I mean, I don't think that the actual show's out, but I've seen a couple of trailers for it, and I like what I'm seeing. It reminds me a lot of The Goonies, and that's just a great movie to kind of emulate.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm curious to see, like, what era this is going to take place in. Like, is this a New Republic, or is this a post New Republic, First Order era show? I want to know where it fits in.
Yeah, because I don't know. Based on what I'm seeing, I don't think it's going to be the Rebellion era.
Yeah, I doubt that it would be the Rebellion era, but like immediately post Rebellion, like between the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy, maybe after the sequel trilogy, maybe.
Yeah, I could see that. It kind of gives me the same vibes I got off of Star Trek Prodigy.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that a little bit.
And honestly, I liked Prodigy. I don't know why they decided not to continue the show. It didn't make sense to me, but it was a pretty good show. Like,
Well, it got the one extra season, didn't it?
I think it got 2 seasons. I think it did.
Yeah, I think it jumped from Nickelodeon to somewhere else to get that extra season, but
It's almost like, Child's first Star Trek. Because, like,
Yeah.
I looked at it and I was like, this is accessible enough to young people that it doesn't feel like standard Star Trek. But it's still Star Trek enough that it gets the world across.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Oh. Oh, curse my lungs. Yeah, exhaustion. So yeah, there is that. I did get into a discussion with someone recently about Star Wars battle tactics.
Okay.
And that was a fun conversation. Like, because they know that, like, they did say that it's like, yeah, there's a lot of, World War II in Star Wars. I'm like, yeah, that's for filming reasons. It's exciting. Modern day fighting wouldn't be so exciting because you just hit a button, suddenly the target disappears from a very, very far distance away.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't make good television, doesn't make good movies.
Right.
So I get that. But we were talking about building the best Star Wars military force. Like, like he made the argument is like, okay, you are in charge of essentially a rebel cell. Like,
Okay.
what do you grab to make a military force for both ground and space combat?
Okay.
And I asked him, I was like, okay, what are the limits? He goes, well, you can't have a Star Destroyer. I'm like, okay, fair enough. So, like, you had to go with a moderate level, like, size ship at the largest.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, a Nebulon B frigate pretty much is the biggest you could get.
Yeah.
But you got to pick your crew. You
bullets left in this gun, you see?
couldn't have all Force users, though. He did say you were allowed to pick one. Because Jedi are so rare, but they still seem to show up.
Sure, yeah.
And I asked him, I was like, okay, can I pick Obi-Wan then? And he goes, no, you're not allowed to pick any of the big Jedi people. I'm like, okay, so nobody from the movies. He goes, nobody from the movies. I'm like, okay, fair enough. And I went, all right, I'm going with, the Jedi I went with was, God damn, what's his name? Chilling about to do Terminus Easter egg again soon. Oh, have fun with that noise. It's the Jedi from Rebels. Kanan Jarrus, or I think it was his name or something.
Yeah, it could be.
I think that's what his name. I was like, I'll grab him. He's a decent Jedi. He's not, oh my god, amazing, but he'll do the job.
Yeah.
For the most part. And he goes, okay, what do you grab for the crew? And I go, for an engineer, I'd probably grab a droid because they tend to be pretty good at that. Probably grab like some sort of random fringer just for the oh god moments of we need something working right now and I don't care that it doesn't work later.
Right.
What about that gray Jedi from Coder 2? That's not a bad choice either. The one that came to mind was Kanan Jarrus for me in that conversation, so that's why I said it. I didn't think about Coder 2 or Coder 1. Honestly, those Jedi would be a much better choice. Hell, Revan would be an amazing choice. But I feel like that would be, banned. Because Revan's kind of a badass. So there is that. Like, I didn't pick anybody named-wise. I tried to avoid, hero people.
Right.
But I told him, he goes, alright, so you got an engineer, you got yourself a pilot or two. I'm like, yeah, nothing too crazy. I picked a Corellian pilot because they tend to be really good at it. And that's not even just saying Han Solo there. That's like most Corellian pilots seem to have some higher level skill than others.
Okay.
So there was that, and then he got a little confused when I thought about it. I go, I do need ground forces, and he goes, yeah. I go, I'm picking a Mandalorian squad, just one. He goes, you're not gonna pick like 30, 40 guys? I'm like, no, I only need like 6.
Yeah.
And he just looked at me and goes, they're not that good. I'm like, you don't understand. If you get too many Mandalorians, it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
If you get a small fire team of 6 to 8 of the little buggers, they're gonna wreck shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not there to fight entire armies. If I'm building a rebel cell, I'm there to hit soft targets. And let's be brutally honest, Mandalorians are really good at hitting soft targets.
Makes sense.
And I'll say the best example of understanding Mandalorian battle tactics, you've seen the show The Mandalorian. I'm fairly certain of that.
Nope.
No, you haven't?
I did not bother. My dude, I have not watched anything Star Wars since Last Jedi.
Okay. Mandalorian is worth the watch. I will say that. But they're fighting a pirate who had taken over a city. And the Mandalorian's friend, who had been the magistrate of the city, asked him to come help and save them and so on and so forth. So the Mandalorians show up with about 30 of them. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The pirates have hundreds. And they have a battleship looking thing. Actually, maybe not battleship. Battle cruiser. We'll call it a battle cruiser. Kind of sitting over the city. The Mandalorian comes in, hits the battle cruiser, just like a few shots, just to piss it off, and then flies up, drawing it away from the city. All right. Meanwhile, the Mandalorians come in with a second transport, drop a bunch of guys, and the display of small arm tactics is amazing. Even if you haven't watched the show, you could probably find a clip of it on YouTube of just that one little battle where it's the Mandalorians fighting the pirates.
Yeah.
And it will give you what you need to do in a small arms situation where you have a much larger force than you and you just want to make them go away.
Makes sense.
So, I told him, yeah, I'll grab 8 Mandalorians and call it a day for that. He goes, what about any vehicles? Would you grab any vehicles? I go, yeah, a few speeders here and there, something to get my guys around.
Yeah.
If anything, the biggest thing I would grab is a U-Wing.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you know what that is.
I've heard of it, but I don't know the specs.
Right. So you remember Rogue One?
Yep.
Okay. That big transport vessel that dropped off a bunch of guys when they got down to the planet?
Yeah.
That had, the moving wings?
Yeah.
That's a U-Wing.
Okay.
So it's it'll get your troops there. And it can fly in space and fly on the ground. Or fly in atmosphere.
Yeah, in atmosphere.
In atmosphere. And it comes with 2, little side guns on the side that can apparently take out the joints of an AT-AT. Which is kind of wild. It's let me get this straight. Snow speeders can't shoot the AT-ATs because their armor is too thick for blasters. But this little side piddly machine gun looking thing can shoot out the fucking joints of an AT-AT.
Yeah.
It's Luke, why not shoot the legs? What the hell? Oh, fun little trivia thing. You remember how it has that one, officer in the one AT-AT in Battle of Hoth?
Yes.
Okay. His AT-AT is specially modified. It actually has stronger engines in its legs. The tow cables actually wouldn't work on his AT-AT.
Huh.
Because during testing, he discovered that weakness, and he made it a point to strengthen the one he was in. He did not have time to upgrade the others.
Gotcha.
Even though he really wanted to, Vader really just kind of fast-forwarded the whole fucking thing. It's get moving. So, there was that. But yeah, he asked me a few questions. It was kind of fun. I gave him a few fighters I would throw in. It's I go a couple of X-Wings, a couple of Y-Wings, and probably at least an A-Wing.
Yeah, in case you need to do a little agile missile delivery or just even some advanced dogfighting.
Yeah. And he looked at me and was like, why not the B-Wing? I'm like, because the B-Wing is super hard to pilot. It actually takes specialty piloting training just to be able to fly the fucking thing. And not to mention, they're really expensive to make.
Yeah, for the price of a wing of B wings, you can get several wings of Y wings.
What about the C-Wing? Let me look up the C-Wing again. I don't remember that one off the top of my head.
As I was trying to tell you, there are no bullets left in this gun, you see?
Give me a second. I'm not seeing C-Wing. I'm seeing X. When I looked up X-Wing, it didn't give me that. Oh, there we go. The C-Wing Starfighter. I could see that being okay, but the problem with the C-Wing is it's also expensive. Especially for the value you're getting out of it. I'm being facetious. Hey, facetious is okay. We take facetious. Yes, it's a thing. There is actually a fucking C-Wing. The C-Wing was mostly an aerial dogfighter, so it was an in-atmosphere dogfighter. Like, I just looked it up. Because I was like, I know it's real, but I forget what it looks like. I don't even know what's going on here. We're talking about if you were to build a rebel cell, what materials would you go for? And it's fine. It's fine to get into the middle of the conversation. I know one vehicle I feel like that really should have gotten more attention, at least for the Empire. Give me a second. Battlefront 2, 2005, vehicles. Because I know the name of the vehicle, but I can't remember. Correction, I know what the vehicle looks like. I just don't remember what the fuck the vehicle was. Is it this one? I think it was. Yes, the IFT-X. It was a hover tank that had a blaster cannon on the side and a missile launcher on the other side of it. And the blaster cannon was designed, it had two smaller blaster cannons on the front for infantry. The blaster cannon was designed for medium vehicles, and the missile launcher was designed for aerial vehicles or heavy vehicles. I don't even know what's real. I'll just take a TARDIS. That's fair. But yeah, that hover tank would have been really, honestly, advantageous for the Empire to use instead of walkers. So
yeah.
So like as a rebel cell, I might, if I have space, I might grab one.
Makes sense.
Just to make those ATSTs really have a bad day.
Yeah.
So there is that. Anything else I grab? I would stick with, standard blaster rifles, much like what the Stormtroopers used, because why? The Stormtroopers, whenever you kill them, hey, free ammunition. What a shock. I do love me a hood TARDIS. What is a hood TARDIS? I don't know that one. I don't know.
Yeah, what makes a TARDIS a hood TARDIS?
I don't know. I do have a droid, don't I? Yes.
Oh, a good TARDIS. It was a typo.
Oh, good TARDIS. Okay. All right. I was just like, wait, what the hell's a hood TARDIS? I don't know, man.
I mean, to be fair, a TARDIS would probably just absolutely destroy any Star Wars fleet you could put against it.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, I'm leaving. Fire me. We're not firing you. You have a typo. I have typos with my words. Jesus Christ. My brain malfunctions and just goes, fuck it. I'm not working anymore. That rabbit just ate a turtle egg.
Yeah. TARDISes are so hideously hard to damage. And I assume they can be mounted with weapons, but I'm not even sure you'd need them so much as, oh, hey, I materialized my TARDIS in your reactor room, and took out a chunk of a vital linkage. So now your engines are going to overload. Now I'm going to go do it to the next ship.
Yeah. But yeah, it was, like I said, that was a fun discussion. Though, like I said, I did shock him a bit with the Mandalorian thing because he thought I was just like a giant Mandalorian fan. I'm like, no, like watch their battle tactics. They do a really, really good job at that. That poor lady, she was trying to sleep and the thing came in and disturbed her sleep.
Oh.
To clean up a little bit of dirt next to her floor, her bed. Fair enough. Alright. Let's see. Oh, let me make it full screen, damn it. Let's see what we got. Almost let's make a remake. Almost. Oh, wrong one. We got BattleTech. Oh boy. BattleTech news, they did release a new game. It's
Okay.
from the viewpoint of the clans.
Okay.
So they basically just use the same engine from MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries.
Right.
And just said, hey, you're clanners now. Like, have fun. So not really much of a difference in game, except for instead of doing it strictly for money and a few parts, you're also gaining honor and shit. And go ahead.
I was going to say that makes sense to me if you want to get out a game relatively quickly. Just do a little bit of an iteration. Here are some new gameplay elements. We have added honor in. You're in a different perspective. But otherwise, if people liked the first game, it's a very similar experience. I don't think we always need to reinvent the wheel.
Oh, no, definitely not. But the biggest problem they had was what took them as long as they did to make the game was the mechs themselves. Because clanners use different mechs than Inner Sphere.
Right.
So they had to redesign, remap, and redo all of the mechs. I lost all my cats when I sneezed. I had 4 on me. Oh my god. Cats were all like, fuck this, I'm out! Like, oh my god. But yeah, supposedly the reviews are in. The game came out fairly well. It wasn't, oh my god, amazing, but it was decent. So they have definitely done some good work. And I'm pleased to hear this, because I'm not the doom and gloom type who's like, oh, we don't need new games, like, fuck that. I'm like, no, man, like, let's have some new games, but we'll see how that goes.
As I was trying to tell you, there are no bullets left in this gun, you see?
Monkey's here. Monkey funk. By the way, if you guys have any questions in the chat there, you're more welcome to ask them. We'll answer them to the best of our abilities. It is I, a monkey. Monkey. Remember, return to monkey. But yeah, no, they incorporate a lot of the melee elements in the game, which was really cool, because there are some mechs that just go up and punch a bitch. Which is cool as hell.
Mm-hmm.
In particular, there's one mech that's specifically designed for it called the Hatchet Man.
Which is a great name.
Oh, yeah. And its weapon is 2 hatchets that it carries for melee weapon reuse. And oh boy, does it really like melee. It does have some ranged weapons, just not a lot. Yeah. I always laugh when I hear return to monkey. Yep.
Oh, good. Sorry, I was watching for news on a particular bill that was going through Congress, and it apparently was stopped. So hopefully it's dead. There was a bill proposed, and I won't belabor this for too long, but there was a House bill that would allow the Secretary of the Treasury to label any group a terrorist group and thereby prevent them from accessing banking or fundraising. It would also remove their tax exempt status, and they could appeal it, but there wasn't real proper due process on that, and people were pointing out like this could be used by an abusive president to essentially designate any organization that opposes him as affiliated with terrorism. So very glad to see that did not pass.
I'm glad. I am very happy about that.
Incidentally, while we're veering slightly towards politics, just for your listeners, I do recommend if you're planning any hardware upgrades for your computer, maybe do that before January. Consider doing that Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whenever you got a good deal going, because if in fact we do end up with a bunch of tariffs, especially on Chinese goods, the price of electronics is going to go up considerably.
Yeah.
I am probably going to be getting myself a new desktop PC this year.
I wish I could, but I can't.
Yep, I understand.
And I need to replace this one. I know I need to replace it, but I just can't afford it.
Yep.
And that kills me, because I know when I get to the point where I can save enough money to afford it, it's going to be way more expensive than it needs to be.
Possibly. It's always possible that the tariffs don't take effect. It's always possible that there'll be lower tariffs than were talked about. And it's always possible that after it becomes obvious that it's raising prices on everybody, and if everybody gets pissed off enough, the tariffs will go away. But
I can only hope.
My PC is, I believe, 6 years old. Let me double check that. I believe, yes, this PC that I am working on right now, my desktop, I got in July of 2018, so it's a little over 6 years old, almost 6.5. And it works fine, but is it going to work fine for the next 4 years? Probably not.
Probably not. See, the problem is, I built mine in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to last 4 years.
Nope.
Not likely. So, I'm trying to save up money to replace it.
Yep.
And then I planned on giving it to my daughter once, like this one.
Yep.
Once I clean it up some.
I mean, I'm told, a lot of people are using older hardware and just throwing Linux on there, which is a great way to run some older stuff.
This is a great opportunity
older
for
hardware,
slaughter.
I mean, fairly reliably. Linux is very tolerant to that. So that could be a possibility.
Yeah, with my daughter, they'll have to stick with Windows. No,
I believe, yeah.
No, Jersey, I did not stream yesterday. I had some real-life things to take care of. So, normally I do, it's just yesterday I couldn't. Getting the house ready for mother-in-law visit.
Oh boy.
Oh,
I
yes.
hope sister-in-law's not coming.
Same here. Especially since she's not allowed on the property.
Yes.
Yeah, she's not allowed on the property, and if she shows up, I'm calling the cops.
Any reason to believe that she would show up?
Nothing that I would call solid. If that makes sense.
Okay.
But the mother-in-law is coming from North Carolina to here.
Which is North Carolina being where sister-in-law lives.
Yes. So it doesn't make the possibility zero, but I feel like it's not likely.
Right.
At least that's my thought process. And she'll be arriving while I'm doing Fable Friday. on stream.
Okay.
And Anne has agreed with me on this, that that basically I'm just to keep doing what I do.
Fair enough.
Like, if she throws a shit fit that how dare I be streaming when she visits, it's like, look, this is how I make some money. Like, promptly piss off.
Good.
And the same thing with my my in-person D&D games that weekend too. So she'll deal with that. Live your best life. I try to. I try to live my best life. I try to be a relatively good person. I mean, like I said, I try to be a good person. I'm not always successful. Like, well, how do I put this? I do good things and I try to help people, and I do that, but sometimes my methodology leaves to be desired.
Okay, fair.
And I've done some pretty horrible shit in my youth.
All we can do is try to be better.
Yep. I was young and stupid. I did a lot of dumb things in my youth. Part of me is really glad, though, I didn't decide to... Like, I got out of the Air Force when I did.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I would have been probably involved in the Iraq War the second time. So, you're chaotic good? I would say yes and no. Like, I'm kind of leaning more towards neutral good. And the reason why is I do have a set of rules for myself, and I follow those rules to the best of my ability. So I don't always do what I feel like, just off puff, whatever I feel like doing at the time. Well, happy belated Veterans Day. Okay, fun story. While I did try to serve in the military, I did not finish training. So, legally and officially, I am stating this now, legally and officially, I am not a veteran. Alright? I do not have a military ID. I do not get veteran benefits. I do not officially count as a veteran. I leave it up to each person to decide, when I've told my story, if I count as a veteran or not, and I will respect that choice. Because I've had some people go, yeah, we can get it, you're not a veteran. And some people go, no, you at least tried, you almost made it, you just got hurt towards the end, and you're a veteran. I'm like, okay. I think I'm chaotic neutral. Chaotic neutral's not bad. But as I was saying before, I have some rules for myself that I keep to myself. But there are times where I'll bend those rules. So I would say I'm probably neutral good. I would say that. How about you, Gamera? Where would you say you fall?
Alignment-wise, I've waffled between what I consider lawful neutral in my younger years to be more neutral good. So probably neutral good or lawful good. Hard to say between the two.
Wiseman says you got indoctrinated before you got injured. You count, brother. I'm like, that's fair. That's a good way to put it. Apparently, several of my coworkers back when I used to work at McDonald's would give me the veteran discount because they're like, yeah, we count you as a veteran. I'm like, okay, not gonna argue. Good on me. Probably neutral on that spectrum. Yeah, a lot of people tend to have something neutral in them, whether it's neutral like the law of chaos spectrum or the good evil spectrum. It's really hard to be just straight up lawful good, lawful evil, chaotic good, or chaotic evil. Most people tend to be more towards that middle. It's not your fault you got injured. This is true. It was not my responsibility that I got injured. Someone didn't tie a rappelling line right. I fell 15 feet, got a severe dislocation of my left knee. My injury is not my fault. That is correct. What I said while being medically examined is my fault. I think I've told you this story, Gamera.
Maybe. I don't remember it off the top of my head.
All right. So, 3 days away from finishing training. We're going through our last physical exam, okay? And it's mostly just like, hey, can you, we're making sure you're just okay to be in the military at this point. It's the last one. Part of it is, when I say a rappelling line, it's not the one where you're rappelling out of a helicopter. It's the line that's put over a wooden wall, and you have to rappel down that wall.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
I've seen that in movies and stuff.
Yep. So that's what I was going down. Someone didn't tie that rope correctly up top. Oh, we got raided! Doom Dizzle! Hard training makes for easy battle. Hard training makes for training injuries. So you can't say you don't count because a harsh system randomly hurt you badly. That's fair. Doom, you're playing Resident Evil 4. Cool. How does the Las Plagas affecting you? Were you fighting them fairly well? But no, when I was in the medical examination room, the doctor kept poking my knee, asking if it hurt. And I, being young and stupid, I lost my temper, and I said some things in that room that I probably shouldn't have. Now, mind you, the doctor understood why I was saying what I was saying. I was playing the Ada Wong DLC. Oh, that's a fun one, from what I understand. So the doctor understood why I was saying what I was saying, because I was in a lot of pain. I was upset. The lieutenant in the room, not so much. And he's the one who gave me an administrative discharge. So it is partially the lieutenant's fault for that, but it was also partially my fault for saying inappropriate things.
I'm sure his mother's a very nice lady.
Fair enough. It was more along the lines of I was losing my temper. I said a few curse words, but I think the thing that mostly got me into trouble was I was starting to describe to the two of them how I was going to start murdering them with objects in the room.
That'll do it, yeah.
Yeah, it was like I said, it's partially my fault. I said stupid. All right? Like, I take some responsibility for that situation.
Yep.
I am not innocent. How's Potato? Oh, Potato. Potato's sleeping right now. But Potato's been doing good. You've learned a spell called Fertile Lands. This ability must be maintained and reduces your mana generation 40%. Oh, wow, that's a big area. Okay, so I want to hit this area with it when you're waking up. So you got a new spell called Fertile Lands. Someone bought a scroll of it, and you're the druid, so you get it. So you're about to use it later on our rice crop to make it grow faster. So here's to you, Bun Bun. But after that whole situation, I got to spend 3 months in the medical ward. Which, that was fun. Some of the cadences we learned in medical ward were definitely not of the appropriate variety. So, that was entertaining. I still had to make sure, like, my bed was made, my uniforms were good, all that jazz. I still had to eat in the mess hall. Which, that was another nightmare for me altogether. Alright. So, Gamera, I know you have had no military experience.
Correct.
Apparently, I didn't make my build interesting enough for you. What? What build? What? Bun? What are you talking about? This is something I struggled with for a while too. My first weekend out playing enemy force with infantry tore my ACL. Think I could have gotten more support from Veteran Affairs earlier had I not said I like a sedentary lifestyle. Years later, when they improved the VA service, I get so much from my bum knee. I almost trade a second for the double Datosh. My Rimworld character. No, your build is good. You made it interesting enough. God damn, it's useful. I like it. You can poison people and cure diseases. Like, Jesus Christ. You're good. But no, whenever you go to mess hall, the way it works is like 4 guys sit at a table. And you all have to eat together. And none of you are allowed to get up until everybody's finished.
Interesting.
But here's the kicker. If everybody finishes, you have to get up. All right? Now, normally you would think, well, that doesn't sound too bad, except for the fact that if the table that sat down after you finishes before you and gets up, you get into trouble.
Huh.
So there is a time limit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess that's a way to try and prevent people from just kind of lingering over their food.
Essentially. I had to sit at a special table, though. The reason why is because I had an eating waiver.
Okay.
Because when I went into the military, I was 120 pounds. I am 5'9", by the way, folks.
Uh-huh.
So if you're not getting what I'm putting down, I was severely underweight. Like, massively. My dad was in it for years, and he so messed up. Wait, an eating waiver? Yes. Basically, because I was underweight, I had to eat more food than everyone else. Because they understood that I was going to be putting on a lot of muscle mass, and I didn't have the fat reserves to do the standard diet.
Right.
There was none of that in Canada. I went back for seconds, had extra chocolate milk, double dessert, whatever. Jeez. That sounds amazing.
Observation. This is a great opportunity for slaughter.
The problem is the eating waiver table is everybody has to sit together, eating waiver. The problem is most eating waivers are for people to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
Which means I was sitting at a table where I had double rations.
As I was trying to tell you, there are no bullets
And
left in
everybody
this gun, you
else
see?
at the table had half rations.
Yeah.
So, oh my god, was I getting death stares at all times.
I'll bet.
And like, everybody understood it wasn't my fault, but at the same time, they're like, motherfucker has double mashed potatoes and Salisbury steak. Yeah, it was great. It was like hilarious. What made it worse is I was required to eat one thing from the dessert cart. I could not. I was not allowed to not eat something from the dessert cart. I had to eat something. What made it worse is most of the training instructors, or TIs for short, that is the Air Force's drill sergeants, the TIs used my tray's dessert as a trading station to trade out desserts.
Okay.
And I know they did this on purpose to just fuck with me. Because sometimes, like, they would trade out something, and, like, I'd go from an apple pie to a cherry pie, and I'm like, oh, God, I hate cherry pie, but I'll eat it. I have to. And then suddenly it'd switch out to a brownie, and then back to the apple, and then to, like, a custard, and I'm like, why did it keep switching it?
Huh.
And I wasn't allowed to eat it until I ate everything else on the tray first.
Okay.
That's like being on a table with Korean grandmas. You are special. Oh, God. Now, what made the medical ward worse was, at one point in the medical ward, I was asked, the big drama re-food during training was vegetarian. They mandated you could only get the veggie option, often fresh, fancy stuff like stuffed peppers, if you ate veggie for religious reasons. If you did solely for moral or health reasons, you're eating steak, soldier. Yep. No, the Air Force did that too on my end. It had to be a religious reason or a health reason. Like if you could not process the meat enzymes, because we did have someone who had that problem. If that made it so that you couldn't function, then the doctor had to analyze you, make sure that was the case, that it was
As I was trying
impacting
to
your
tell you, there are no
abilities
bullets
to
left in
function.
this gun, you
Then
see.
you get the option.
Against my moral compass.
Your f***ing moral compass is a roulette wheel!
It's all coming together.
Hey Donner, how you doing?
Observation. This is a great opportunity for slaughter.
Too much red meat. All right, so Bun, here's the funny thing about the Air Force, or at any of the military branches. If you are in the Air Force or the Navy, you're getting good food. All right, well, better food than the others. Honestly, Navy has the best food. Like, I was ecstatic whenever we had a Navy cook in the mess hall. Like, it was like, yes, it's a good day. All right, no, dude, they cook way better. I don't know what they do. Like, maybe it's being stuck in a ship for like months on end or some shit like that. They're just way better at cooking. My tales are from infantry training. Oh, goody. I remember those days. Air Force is second, mainly because they have a lot of base cooking. Because most of the Air Force operates out of bases. Then you have Army, which Army cooks are bad, but they're not great. They could definitely have some improvement. Like the fucking... When you have scrambled eggs, all right, you cook them until everything's hard, right?
I don't eat scrambled eggs, but I'll defer to your wisdom here.
All right. So the Army scrambled eggs is scrambled egg soup.
Ah, I see.
They add a lot of water to it so it doesn't completely dry out, but they add so much water to it, it might as well be fucking soup.
Gotcha.
Like, ugh. And then the worst cooks are the Marine cooks. They're I think, honestly, they just throw things that look like food at you and go, this at least give you the nutrients you need to live. Have fun.
This is edible.
No, not even this is edible, is we think this is edible. Good luck.
So are you familiar at all with the musician Tom Lehrer?
Yes.
Okay. You've probably heard, like, Poisoning Pigeons in the Park and some of his other classics. The Element Song.
I have almost, I think the equivalent of 2 complete albums of his on my computer right now.
Nice. So have you heard "Makes a Fella Proud to Be a Soldier"?
Yes, I've heard
Okay.
that one.
Your line about the Army cooks reminded me of the line from that song where their mess sergeant had his taste buds shot off in the war.
Yeah, that's probably accurate. His base odds were questionable, and he would treat my food like God. Yep. No, I'm fairly certain Marines, like, their cooks are just so shitty because at this point, the Marine will eat whatever the fuck you put in front of him. By the time a Marine hits the mess hall, they're either hungover, drunk, or ready to, like, they just got done fighting, and they're just really fucking hungry. So it's like, congratulations, I need something.
Wow.
I need body fuel so that way I can go out and drink more or kick ass. It's like, Jesus Christ. Oh, man, devil dogs are something else entirely. They are weird fucking people. Yep, muscles are included, intelligence not expected. But yeah, no, so during the medical ward, when I was stuck in the medical ward, I had a female TI, because we had women in the Air Force.
Right.
She lost her voice. She got like laryngitis or something. I don't remember what it was. She could barely talk at a whisper.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So her best friend was the TI of my medical ward. So he came in one day to our day room, which is mainly like a room where there are like 2 or 3 couches. There's a TV that doesn't work. And windows. Congratulations. That's your day room.
Yeah.
Hey, AP! How's it going? Most of us just hung out in there reading books or just like just laying out in the sun going, well, at least it's not like 100 degrees in here. Like, fuck this. So we were forced to gather all in the day room because the TI came in, yelled, lady in the dorm, which is
Right.
basically standard thing. The biggest things you'll ever hear if you're in a barracks is lady in the dorm or officer in the dorm.
Right.
And if you hear those, you're just like, move your ass. Get to standing in line. Oh, you changed your name. AP's name has changed.
AP the Owl.
Yeah, it's AP the Owl, no longer AP Pascal. I like the change. It's a nice change. It's a good change. Wait. You changed your name to Latrine? Yeah, it used to be Shithouse. It's a good change. That's a good
It's a good change.
I love Mel Brooks movies.
I am gonna have to rewatch some Mel Brooks in the near future. I think
I need to watch Blazing Saddles. I need to get off my ass and do that.
you do need to get off your ass and do that.
Yes. Okay, just got to my computer. Phone was on phone. All right, cool. Anyway, had my last soccer game of the year today. Penalties are a cruel mistress. Yes, they are. Penalties suck. So the female TI, by the way, I was talking about earlier, she lost her voice. So she came in, the guy come in, and we had to deal with the medical ward TI. We were allowed to curse, just not at him or any other higher ranked person, if he was allowed to curse.
Okay.
And we're like, that's fair, because technically in the Air Force, you're not supposed to curse. You know, like the 7 curse words that George Carlin goes over?
Right.
You can't use those.
Okay.
So 9 times out of 10, when you're in basic, you hear TIs just go, trainee, what the piss?
Yeah.
And other fun things like that, and you can't laugh. You cannot laugh. And that is so hard to do.
I imagine so.
Because it's like, it sounds so fucking ridiculous. It sounds absurd. You're like, why? Why is this a thing? But no, he came in, he had us all gather in the day room, and then he tells all of us in here, he goes, which one of you is the loudest motherfucker here? You know what happened.
I'm sure you volunteered with gusto.
Oh no, I didn't get volunteered. Everybody in the room just turned and looked their head at me. I have a friend that got called a fucking Christmas tree and a soup sandwich. No, best insult, by the way, this is involving trees. This, your little comment wise and reminded me of this. The best insult I saw in basic was this one guy that was a complete and utter fuck up. Like, all the time. The TI came in one day with a little tree that he bought from, like, Lowe's or something. And he handed it to the guy, and the guy goes, what am I supposed to do with this, sir? And he just looks at him and goes, you are to care for that tree to replace the oxygen you wasted by living.
Damn.
I was like, fuck, that's a burn.
That's pretty solid.
That's a solid burn. Mind you, my training instructor was Staff Sergeant Ramirez, or Sergeant Ramirez, one of those two. He was a 5'5"-ish guy. It was like 5.5 feet tall, Latino gentleman that we in the squad referred to him, or in the barracks referred to him as the angriest Mexican this side of the border. Because he was always angry. All the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that's his job, but it was just like, oh. Like, oh damn. That is something else. I keep getting distracted though. Anyway, so everybody in the room looks at me after asked who's the loudest person in the in this place, and I was required to, for 2 weeks, to follow her around and yell for her.
Gotcha.
So she would whisper in my ear, and that is fucking terrifying.
Yep.
All right, and I had to make sure I repeated what she said word for word and followed her exact instructions. So I had to spend 2 weeks yelling at female trainees.
Uh-huh.
And I had to make sure that I didn't do anything unbecoming of an officer. Which means every time I walked in there, the ladies had to be dressed. And she made sure about that. And anytime they had to go to do shower time and I had to yell into the shower, I could not look in the shower. I had to yell loud enough that she could hear me in the shower without looking at it.
Okay.
That's really fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god. And the worst part of the whole thing, and this is what made it worse, during mess, I was required to sit in an area referred to as the snake pit. This is where all the TIs sit while mess is happening.
Okay.
So, me, little trainee, sitting at a table with like 5 or 6 other TIs, all staring at me. And like paying attention to every little thing I was doing. Not an insult, but a friend who was a Marine had a wonderful story. In the Marines, PRC, pronounced prick, it is a radio. He was sent to find the pure... Okay, so prick E7. Oh no. Oh, that's good. That's a good one, Jersey. That's a good one. Oh god. Yep. Say, okay, Wizen say prick and then E7. Like, it, like, really quickly together. And that's how you'll get it. Yeah. Warrior Week was definitely entertaining for me. That was requiring us to basically be out in the field, in tents, mud, all that shit, shooting guns. Because I enlisted from West Virginia, everybody thought I was a good old boy and that my accuracy would far outstrip everyone else's. Boy, were they surprised. Oh man, I had to do so many push-ups. Oh, God. Like, don't get me wrong. I believe everybody should do something in service to the state for at least a couple of years to help their country. All right? This does not necessarily mean military service. All right? I've always been of the mindset of the same, like the Romans, where it's like, okay, military service is one way. If you're a teacher, that should be your service to the state that way. Because you're trying to help future generations be smarter. You're at least making the attempt.
Yeah.
Rome also had ways where you could get service to the state with art. There should be a thing like army, but go around and fix and clean up things. Yeah. Like fixing up infrastructure and stuff for 2 years. Yeah, if you did that, congrats. There's your service to the state. But no, artists in Rome got service to the state if they agreed to make art for the state for 2 years.
You aren't going to believe this, Wizen, but you should look up AmeriCorps.
Oh, yeah.
AMERICORPS. It's basically an independent U.S. agency that hires people to do stipended volunteer work in many sectors. It was founded by Bill Clinton in 1993 and is essentially volunteer non-military service with, some stipend as a reward.
Yep. Of course, the U.S. has that. Yep.
Yeah, and we've, I think, had similar things in the past. I believe, like under FDR, some of the electrification efforts for the Tennessee Valley Authority and those other agencies that he set up might have had some similar things going on. But yeah, we do have these kinds of things, at least for right now we do.
For now.
But yeah, I'm kind of I'm kind of against the idea of mandatory service, but if you put it in the context of, hey, let's have everybody do a year of, they can select a menu of options, that way we can make sure that there's something appropriate for every sort of taste, I get a little more okay with it.
Yeah, and
As I was
that
trying to
was
tell
always
you,
my
there are no
mindset. It was
bullets
just
left in
like,
this gun, you see?
create several options from various people's skills and things of that nature.
Observation. This is a great opportunity for
Have
slaughter.
them help the country a little bit, because sometimes that'll give people perspective. Average Parse is
Yeah.
playing World of Warcraft. Oh, cool. What class were you playing? Oh wait, ad break just started, so they may not have heard me. I could also see like doing research for the state, like for the DoD, for a couple of years. That could also be a cool thing to do for like the intellectual types, especially STEM.
Well, and yeah, yeah, I think I've heard that joke, Jersey Hermit, but I couldn't remember the Air Force one.
Yeah, Navy will just lock the door. Let's see, yeah. If you ask someone in the Navy to secure a building, they will lock the door. If you ask someone in the Army to secure a building, they'll set up a checkpoint. If you ask a Marine to secure a building, they'll defend it with suppressive fire. If you ask someone in the Air Force to secure a building, they'll take a 2-year lease with an option to buy. That's so accurate. God damn it.
But yeah, I mean, civil service doesn't necessarily even have to be complicated. You could do a civil service thing just helping do paperwork for one of our many federal agencies that has paperwork. That gets you kind of some exposure to how things work.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that could be useful. Like, oh, I understand how this element of government works, therefore I am more inclined to see it realistically.
Yeah. Average Parson says, I'm going to play hardcore tomorrow on the Horde side. Good luck with that. There are very few games I would consider playing hardcore on.
I've also heard the clock joke. I have a friend I play 40k with sometimes who is a ex-Marine, and yeah, he likes to tell Marine jokes.
Or in the Army, it's 1,600 hours. In the AV, it's 8 bells. In the Air Force, it's 4 p.m. In the Marines, it's when the big hand is on the 12 and the hand's on the 4. I died on my hunter, so it's time to go again. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, apparently WoW has incorporated now a hardcore mode for World of Warcraft.
Interesting.
I don't think I would ever play an MMO on hardcore.
Absolutely not. Would never touch it in a million years.
Yeah. The only game right now I consider for playing hardcore is Subnautica 1. I have friends who have been in 5 of the 6 branches of the military, so I've heard all of the jokes. Oh yeah. Let me guess, Space Force is not the one you've had friends in?
Space Force!
So I'm hearing I shouldn't.
As I was trying to tell you,
Yeah.
there are no bullets left in this gun, you see?
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Evan.
It's all coming together.
Mr. Vinchuk with the fucking
Observation. This is a great opportunity for slaughter.
Evan was playing Overwatch 2. That's fine. That's a good game. I will say this for Evan. I don't think I have text-to-speech. Last time I checked. I will say this about Overwatch, and this is just my personal opinion. They need to have a PvE mode. I get the game is primarily PvP, and I get that's its main selling point. But motherfucker, with all the cinematics they've released on all the characters and so much story they've put into the game, they need to make a PvE mode. It would be fucking amazing. Just fight like a Null Sector or something. What's PvE? Alright. So, Overwatch is PvP, which stands for player versus player. PvE is player versus environment. So, PvE is, yes, that is correct, Jersey, player versus environment. So the idea of player versus environment is there are still enemies running around, but they are controlled by not a human person, but an algorithm, an AI. And honestly, Overwatch's whole story about Null Sector and the robots uprising and all that shit, that would make an amazing PvE mode, where you just have to defend a location or kill, like take a location or defend a payload like you do already in PvP, but your enemy is just a swarm of fucking robots. I had never figured out how Hanzo main became an insult. Me either. Don't know. Hanzo looks awesome. Yeah, you see, like, I come up with good ideas every now and then. I still have people getting on my case trying to tell me to finish my goddamn mod for, Phasmophobia. And I can't get the programming done right. I get so frustrated, I end up having to step away from it and just be like, I need a break. What is the news about Fortnite? I have not heard news about Fortnite. What is this? I'm gonna look it up, though, as soon as you tell me what it is. Because this is gaming news, after all. Okay, so they're bringing the original game, which was you're dealing with zombies. And they're saying it's here to stay. So, Gamera, you've seen Fortnite footage, I'm assuming, at least once or twice.
Oh, yeah.
So, imagine that gameplay, but instead of like a giant PvE battle royale where the environment's shrinking, it's a set-sized map. And instead of other players, there's zombies everywhere.
Okay.
And you have to like build a base and like get resources and stuff.
Okay.
That's what Fortnite was originally. And they changed it into a PvP battle royale. So
Right.
Evan's pointing out that they're bringing back the zombie killing mode. That might actually make Fortnite playable for me. Because I hate PvP. I am not a PvP person.
Yeah, I've never been a PvP guy.
Now, there are some games I don't mind PvP in if it's done well. But it's not my main thing I find fun. Like, I'm mostly a cooperative player or single player.
Yes.
So there is that. Honestly, I'm excited to see what people come up with for Stellaris Eterna Season 3 for us.
Could be interesting.
Could be interesting. The prologue video will be hopefully done soon. and in which case I'll be able to start seeing who I'm going to be having as counselors and senior counselors for the Terran Supremacy.
Mm-hmm.
Because people who are subscribed on Twitch, they become senior counselors. People who donate $1 a month on my Ko-fi get to be just base counselors. So we'll see what happens. I can't wait. It'll be great. And I can't wait to try out the new museum system too. Because that'll make artifacts a little bit more entertaining.
Yeah, I made sure to go ahead and get all the new DLC.
Yeah. We'll see how that works with your cyberpunk and my fascist dictatorship. We'll see how that goes. That'll be fun. And of course, the biggest thing that holds back my colony is steel. Alright, what is this? Huzzah!
Yeah, just sharing a little good news there.
Yeah, we could use a little good news. So, two latest gamers are having conversation. One of them says, "You play WoW, lol." The other one says, "You play LOL, wow."
Yep. Nice.
That's nice. Now this is coming from my cybersecurity side. Alright? This is me not saying the game is bad. I, as a cybersecurity expert, can... I wouldn't say expert. What's the word I'm looking for? Professional. I'll say professional. That's a better word for what I do. As a cybersecurity professional, I cannot endorse suggesting people to play League of Legends or Apex Legends.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the whole Vanguard system.
Right.
Like, I just would not do that. It is too much access for any one program to have for your computer.
Yeah.
That cannot be a good thing. So, there is that. Oh, it is the 12th of December, Mary. Which means we can have the party of family now. Yay! It's a holiday party. Okay, I'm curious on you guys' opinion. What fandom, in your opinion, is the most annoying? Let's hear what you got, Gamera.
Oh, man. Okay. There's a lot of good answers to this, and it will often...
As I was trying to tell you, there
It'll
are no
depend
bullets left in
on
the sky,
what's
see?
annoyed me most recently. Like, there was a time where I would have, without hesitation, said the Rick and Morty fandom. Because there's just such a toxic element down in there. And, yeah, it's hard to equal that.
That's fair, Jersey. I'm not going to read his out loud, but his is fair. I'll send it to you, Gamera.
Okay.
As soon as I find your name. There you are.
There I am to save the day.
Yeah. All right. I'm not going to copy previous answers. All right.
Yeah. So I will address that indirectly, Jersey, and say that I think fandom's the wrong term, but and annoying probably undersells it.
Yeah. For me, like, you've listed a good couple ones. For me, the ones that have gotten on my nerves the most, at least gaming or geek-wise, has been probably the Star Wars fandom.
I mean, it is a really sharply divided and often toxic fandom. I can totally get that.
Like and it's two extremes on both sides. It's like you either think all the new stuff is amazing and great and you love it and you can't criticize it, or you're a fucking like dipshit that just doesn't like anything new.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot of middle ground in the Star Wars fandom, so
it's like, fuck, man. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some new Star Wars stuff I hate the fuck out of, but there's some new stuff that is like, this was cool.
And I really, I don't like I disliked The Last Jedi.
Hey,
and I hate that some of the most fucking knuckle-dragging chuds on the internet are on my side of that. Like, I don't
like,
want to be on the same side as those assholes.
It's like you want to hate you hate the movie because it's written so fucking poorly.
Right.
But at sometimes you're on the same side of basically assholes, and you're like, I really want to be on the other side of this because I really don't like you.
Right.
I really hate this fucking movie.
Right. So that's basically the issue I have there. But I was going to say Rick and Morty is obviously one of the ones that I'm thinking about. There are elements of the My Little Pony fandom.
I was about to say that too. I hate the My Little Pony fandom.
And see, I liked the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic show. I like Rick and Morty. Those are both fine shows. There's just some people who seem to take it too far. But I would say that the Rick and Morty fandom is more toxic than the My Little Pony fandom, just because there's a certain kind of asshole that looks up to Rick as an actual unvarnished hero, and it's like, that is not the point. You have missed the point, sir.
For me, in terms of things I can say the most annoying, why is it that to Swifties no one can dislike Taylor Swift? I don't get it. I've read.
Here's the thing. You think Swifties are bad, but like the ones that are into the Korean boy bands,
they're worse. Like
they will fucking knife you.
like not even that you're insulting them. You just bring them up in conversation at all, and they just go like the knife is drawn, and it's like, are you talking about my future husbando?
Yeah,
it's like
you just hear the slow shh
like,
as the blade slides out.
It's like, nope, I'm fucking
didn't
out.
Say a thing, sir.
Yeah, not a word. No, like for gaming, the one I've run into that was really bad for that is WoW.
WoW does have a pretty shitty fandom.
Because the WoW fandom seems to think that how dare you play something other than WoW.
No, it'd be
and even if you are playing WoW, how dare you not play the optimum build?
Oh yeah, you're not playing WoW right.
Yes, you're having fun wrong.
Yeah, like the fucking hell. Yeah, WoW is incredibly toxic. It is not the most toxic gaming community, but it is in the top 10.
Yes.
League of Legends the same way. League of Legends is really toxic. I don't know if it's the most toxic, but it's up there.
I was going to say your competitive games, I think, also like League. Yeah, you're going to have some toxicity there.
But all of these are bad. Don't get me wrong. These are all bad, toxic communities. But I have one that if I mention this community, you'll know how bad it is as soon as I mention the name of the game. And it will make WoW, League, Overwatch, all of these games that have toxic elements look like fucking Mother Teresa.
Okay.
All right. The name of the game is EVE Online. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy than that fucking game.
Sociopathy, the simulator.
Yeah, essentially. It's like, hi, I'm a sociopath. I need a game where I can practice my sociopathic skills. Have you heard of this game called EVE Online? Like, to give you an idea how toxic this community is, it is actually suggested and encouraged to perform real-life corporate espionage in-game. I shit you not. There are some people who will play this game, join a company, because that's what the guilds are called. They're called companies.
Yep.
They'll join a company, work their way up the ranks, get to be like a high-ranking officer in the guild, and their whole purpose was to backstab that company for their company that they were originally working for. And they will take months, if not years, to do this shit.
Yeah.
This is the level of fucking toxic we're talking about.
Yeah, when you've got a video game that has that level of offline bleed, it is just scary.
Yeah. Wow. Put it this way. Let me look up this because I want to make sure I get the information correct. Bloodbath of B. There it is. The Bloodbath of BR5RB. All right. Now, some of you may understand. Eve has in-game currency called ISK. All right.
Mm-hmm.
ISK has a real-world equivalent exchange because the game makers made it so that a certain set number of ISK equals 1 month of subscription. All right?
Right.
Which is not a terrible idea in the get-go. All right? Hey, Insane Lawyer, how's it going? Final Fantasy 14 is toxic, but not as bad as WoW. No, 14 has some toxic elements, don't get me wrong, mostly in the raids. There are some raiding guilds that are really fucking toxic, but the community as a whole is pretty good. All right, so there was a battle called the Bloodbath of B-R5RB. This battle went on between January 27th and 28th, both days, in the year of our Lord 2014. All right. A grand total of 7,548 human players were involved in this battle with each other. All right. The approximate loss value was equated to actual real-world dollars of 300,000 to 330,000 USD. Some of the ships that were lost take 5 to 7 years to build.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. Not just to acquire them, to just build the fucking things.
Yeah.
This is Eve. Eve is... Imagine a game filled with toxic people that basically just want to fuck each other over and will take years to do so. To hold on to that toxicity for years.
Mm-hmm.
That is why I say Eve is the most toxic community. It's not because it has giant bursts of toxicity all the time, like WoW does, or Fortnite, or Call of Duty, or Rainbow Six Siege. Those have bigger, like, consistent bursts. Eve's is like a slow burn over years of just heinous behavior.
Yeah.
And as some people are like, oh, you could always play the game and just not really interact with people and just mine, all day and have fun with that, which is like, that's what I tried doing because I found that relaxing. No, you can't avoid the toxicity. It will come and fucking find you. Because inevitably, some asshole will find you and take your shit and steal your shit.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Every syndicate in the city wants your head on a stick.
Observation. This is a great opportunity for
AP,
slaughter.
you're gonna have to do Angel Woman again.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Hey, Quillipen. There you go. Final Fantasy 16. I will one day play that. Alright, so I got industrial generators now, so... The question is, how big is an industrial generator? All right, so I can fit it there, and so here's the thing: it's a 3x3. The industrial generator produces how much power? 2,400. Each of these is 1,000. So if I get rid of these, I will have to move this.
As I was trying to tell you, there
So
are
I'll
no
move
bullets
you
left in
here.
this gun, you see?
Oh, yeah. It's all coming together.
All right, hey, War.
Observation. This is a great opportunity
Oh,
for
you will love
slaughter.
it. Yeah, I know, but I haven't been able to get it. Oh, drink time.
But I was gonna cycle back to the toxic fandoms. If you are you done with the Eve?
Yes, I am done with my Eve rant.
Oh, sorry, I was just watching a clip of someone doing an axe throw, missing the target and hitting a band behind the target like it hit the guy's drum. It could have killed him.
Oh, Jesus.
God.
Good gods. Yeah, that's kind of craziness. Oh, Twitch
Yeah.
drop, what I got? AP. God damn it. Gamera, would you like to know what she dropped?
What did she drop?
Devil sheep.
Devil sheep.
These little bastards.
Meh.
I'll watch it later, and one day I will actually play the game. Alright, so... Devil sheep are actually kind of useful. I know it has a 30% chance of failure.
Floaty? Oh.
It may attack me. It has a 30% chance of attacking me if the taming fails.
I see.
So I might have to have someone run the fuck away. Depending on how bad it is.
But yeah, I was going to say the other fandom that comes to mind, and probably my current most hated toxic fandom, is the cryptocurrency enthusiasts.
Yep. Fuck those crypto bros. Did I ever tell you what my last IT contract was before I left West Virginia?
I don't believe so.
There's a guy who was building a crypto mining farm in Brewston Mills.
Okay.
And my contract was verifying that his setup was safe.
Okay.
He had computers just nailed to the wall, not even in cases.
Okay.
So that was fun. And he was planning on putting multiple server racks in there, things of that nature. And I looked at him and went, you need a massive AC unit for this.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked why. I was like, just these computers alone are going to make this room 120 degrees.
Yeah.
You are going to cook people when they come in here. If you put even one server rack in here, you will easily get it over 200. Like with what you're doing. You will literally start cooking people alive if they come into this room. So it's like, you need to make sure you have good AC. Hopefully he listened.
Hopefully.
Because, I don't want him dead because I don't want him cooked alive. And the other one is, I don't want the building to suddenly catch fire and, burn most of the town down. So unless he has a restaurant serving long pork, no. AP, win mod, it's a spoiler. She must have been mad. God damn it, you bad puns, bad. No, the cool thing with Devil Sheep, by the way, is they give you material.
Hellwool?
Huh?
Hellwool?
Sort of. Alright, let's see. How do I put this? Let me go over to them. They will produce. Where is it? It should say it on here somewhere. Farm animal. Nope, 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 nope. It's around here somewhere. Plain leather. It produces Devil Strand, which is a type of cloth that's very durable and heat resistant.
Okay.
So it is a very worthwhile investment. So, yeah, fun thing to have. So you're welcome. Yes. The problem is the little bastards are super aggressive with everything. Like they are not friendly. Not friendly much at all. Right. Get to the manager desk. We got to update the manager's job. All right. Oy. Ay. Let's see. Other fun toxic fandoms that, like, honestly should just eat a giant dick. I went off on Eve. I did WoW already.
Oh, no, they're not toxic.
They're not toxic. They're just drama.
Everybody I've ever known who's a furry, we hit the ad break.
Oh.
Is Jersey Hermit a subscriber? He is. All right. So yeah, everybody I've ever known who's a furry is, sweet and kind and gentle, unless you fuck with one of their friends, in which case they will try to destroy you. And honestly, love that.
Yeah. No, if anything involving furries that I consider toxic, it's almost the anti-furries.
Yeah, the vehemence with which some people hate furries, I think, can get to the toxic levels. I can understand it not being your thing. I can understand thinking that's pretty weird. But holy shit, just these people existing and liking to do like mascot suits and shit, that is that big a disturbance to somebody. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't understand why some people have issues, but they do.
I've got many furry friends, as I know Ruby has as well.
Yeah, for me, the big one was, if you don't like it, don't engage with it. Yes, but at the same time, some of the furry friends I have at least a good sense of humor. So, like, all the anti-furry Warhammer 40k animations from Flash Skits,
yeah,
like, they still laugh about it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we can't help but laugh at this. This is dumb, but we love it. So, I mean, there's that. What else is there? I'm trying to think of another good example. I mean, the world of warships / tanks / fuck, what's the last one called? The one that keeps leaking all the military secrets. I keep forgetting. War Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
Some of
There
them
you go.
or some of them are pretty gnarly on how fucked they are. It's like, really? Come on, guys. Chill out. I will say that in the TTRPG sphere, it's two groups in particular I've had the biggest trouble with toxicity. Well, let's see. You got one?
I'm pretty sure I know one of them.
The World of Darkness live action people.
Yeah, the World of Darkness fandom, particularly the live action branch, is it seems to draw, some theater kids and goths, great, but it also seems to draw some actual predators and just some assholes. So It's a frustrating mix.
Immensely so, and it aggravates me to no fucking end sometimes. Because you look at that and you're going, why is this a thing? Why are we caring about this? Like, god damn it. And some of them just have, like, this strong desire just to be the biggest dick in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get the need for that. It's like, why? Why are you like this? What is the point? The other group I've run into, and I've only run into them in like conventions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The Zweihander people.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
And
so
go
fucking
ahead.
obnoxious.
I was just going to respond to Jersey Hermit. Yeah, honestly, the overlap between the Tesla fanboys and the cryptocurrency enthusiasts is so big that I wasn't even considering them a separate group. But yeah, man, the absolute dog shit that is the Cybertruck fandom, particularly. Um, Yeah, the Venn diagram of those two fandoms is basically a circle. I mean, there are some old boomer Tesla heads that are not like cryptocurrency people, and then there are some cryptocurrency people I'm sure that aren't as enthusiastic, but it's basically a circle.
Yeah, it might as well be at this point. It's like, Christ.
I have fully withdrawn from Twitter to Blue Sky at this point. I actually I ported all of my follows over to Blue Sky. I'm in the process of porting all of my old Twitter posts over to my Blue Sky account, after which time I might just set my Twitter account private.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the Cybertruck looks like it's not finished rendering.
Yeah, and I was about to say, it feels like it's not finished rendering. It looks like a vehicle that I saw in, like, what's the name of that game? Deus Ex from, like, the 90s.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? Like, was this truck rendered with the Doom engine? Like, what the fuck?
Incidentally, for anybody who's thinking about moving away from Twitter, there's a browser plugin that allows you to basically move your followers. It'll search like display name, handle, and try to give you a list of what it thinks are the matches, so you can follow all the people on Blue Sky that you used to follow on Twitter if they're there.
See,
And
with the fact that I'm doing social media stuff like this,
Yep.
I'm unfortunately stuck on Twitter a little bit. Like,
Well,
I do both.
I was going to get to that in a minute, but I'm going to finish the other point I was going to say. There's also a service called Blue Arc that will like mass move your tweets. It doesn't get like all your replies and shit, but all your original tweets. And you do have to pay for it, but like my entire 13-year Twitter history of more than 2,000 posts, they wanted like $5 and something, and I was like, cool.
No, that's not bad. That's worth the cost.
And Jersey, yeah, more and more sports people, especially after this past week, are moving over to Twitter. So I have noticed a huge uptick. So give it a look over on Blue Sky. See who you would normally follow in terms of sports and check it out. The other thing that I was going to say, though, Ruby, is that I've seen people doing experiments about the engagement they get on both platforms. And like on Blue Sky, you'll have fewer followers, but get like 10 times the engagement because it's not all just goddamn bots.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, high school level. Okay, I can definitely see that.
Yeah. Hey, more silver. We needed that. Oh my god. Alright.
But yeah, Blue Sky is delightful. It's heartwarming.
I've had better interactions on Blue Sky, but the best interactions I've had recently have been Twitter. Not Twitter, TikTok.
TikTok? Yeah.
Yeah, TikTok has been the one that I've gotten the best hits with. And some of the videos I've done have been really well done.
Uh-huh.
So I'm quite happy with my how things have gone so far.
Right.
I do still have a page on Facebook, an account on Facebook. I do have an Instagram. I almost never touch my Instagram. That's one of the few ones I don't touch. But, like, if I was, like, a gun was held to my head and said I have to get rid of one social media site right now, it would honestly be Facebook.
Facebook's algorithm is designed to fuck engagement unless you pay for engagement. They want to sell their advertising service to you, so they make sure to suppress any natural engagement that you might get.
Yeah.
And I say that having been working on a Facebook page for a local political group. Like, the hoops you have to jump through to even do those ads are kind of ridiculous. But yeah, even people following the page sometimes don't see the stuff on the page because following barely means anything anymore.
Yeah. It's TikTok has done really well. I made a few political videos on TikTok that got quite a bit of attention, so people were happy about that.
I will say that TikTok does seem to be more popular with like the younger folks. I'm not convinced I'd ever do a lot on TikTok, but I'm warming up to the idea of actually having a TikTok account at some point.
I would say, well, here's the problem. TikTok's getting banned from the U.S. on the 19th of January.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because guess who has decided that he likes it now?
Oh, Trumpy Wumpy.
Yeah, Trumpy Wumpy.
We'll see. Supposedly the ban goes into enforcement on January 19th.
Yes.
Supposedly.
I assume that they've filed a challenge to that in courts, and on First Amendment grounds, they've probably got a pretty good case on it.
We can hope. No politics. Yeah.
We're just relating the facts about TikTok.
Yep. No. Some of the videos I've done though, like for fun, the fun videos I've done. Let's see. I guess I had a few political ones. I posted all the clips from here on TikTok, so that way if you ever, want to see one of those, you could do that. My favorite one still is the Warhammer 40k video I did.
Right on.
Where I found an after effect where my eyes would be glowing.
Okay.
And so I'm looking at the camera, my eyes are glowing white, and it just goes, in fealty to the God Emperor, our undying Lord, and by the grace of the Golden Throne, I hereby sign the death warrant to an entire world. It could sign 1 billion souls to oblivion.
Yeah.
And it had also, like, the voice effect and everything.
Nice.
So, like, it sounds like a space marine saying it.
Right.
And I was like, hey. I originally came across the effect when someone was doing one for the Paladin, and it says when the Paladin has finally had enough. It's like, yep. Alright, it is almost 9 o'clock, which means it's almost time to go. We gotta figure out who
As I was
we're
trying to tell
raiding.
you, there are no bullets left in this gun, you see?
Observation. This is a great opportunity for slaughter.
I think Puzzle Monkey Tree's finishing his stream. Because it looks like he's about to end the game. Okay, so I can't use him. Damn it. I was hoping. Because he's playing Zelda. You know what? Someone's playing Plate Up. That might be a good choice. Because that's a fun game.
Yeah. Good vibes.
How are you doing, mate? I'm doing fine. We're just about to raid out, actually. Alright. So she's playing Plate Up. She's playing with It's Nick Live and Homeless Ghost. So that'll be fun. Yeah, Pork Roll's playing. Yeah, that's who I picked, was Pork Roll. Alright. So stick around for the raid. So join me tomorrow where I'll be playing, on Wildcard Wednesday, I'll be playing Subnautica. The first game, not Below Zero. And so I'll be doing that tomorrow. Friday is D&D, of course. Please make sure you're taking care of yourselves, both mentally and physically. That's always important. And I know you come to my wonderful Resplendent Tavern for the witty banter, but you stay for my fuck-ups. So, take care. I'll catch you all later. Toodles.
Toodles.
Fucking fireballs.
In a tavern down the cobbled road, where the lanterns gleam with a warm, soft glow, the ruby-eyed hatter with a twinkle in his eye greets every soul with a heartfelt cry. Welcome to the tavern, pull up a chair, grab a mug of ale. Don't fireball my goddamn tavern!